du coup, bah, c'est l'hôpital qui est en face. Normalement. Tiens, il y a tellement là. Et Pipa. Et bah parfait. On a les deux qu'on veut. Bonjour. Donc, normalement j'ai réglé.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Intéressant.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Non, tu prétends être un vampire. Ok.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Faire ton bilan de santé. Elle est en bonne santé, hein. Je pourrais la tuer, mais j'ai pas forcément envie.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
Vous ne connaissez rien, un vampire, vous souffrez de... On va être cash avec elle.
You are no vampire. You are a delusional woman, convinced she is something she is not.
How convenient to call delusional anyone who does not share your precious rationale, Dr. Reid.
Ça pourrait être un bon argument. Si j'étais pas vampire.
I'll leave you, mistress of the dark, to your nocturnal
Mistress. Ok, Thelma. Puis, non, pas Thelma, Hawking, Pipa. Non mais il faut l'appeler. Arrête ça tout de suite. Bon.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Mais non, je voulais la... Je peux la charmer et la buter elle aussi. C'est rigolo.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Mais je voulais la confronter sur ses liens avec Priwen. Bon. Du coup on a qui là? On a Thomas Elwood. Bonjour.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reid.
On a rien.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Allez.
Beauty is not everything, Mr. Elwood.
Says Mr. Pretty Face.
C'est vrai. Indice perdu.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen.
Et je pense qu'il m'a pas regardé dans les
Dead
yeux.
drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone.
Ça va, il s'en sort pas
Bitch
si
never
mal.
woke me up. Left me to burn.
Bon. Allez, allez.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain.
Bon, il faut que j'aille donner Le médicament à Dorothy. Dorothy.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Ok.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Pardon. Les maladies font baisser la qualité du sang des citoyens. Soignez-les avec les bons médicaments. Parlez aux patients. Oh, ok. Bonjour.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
C'est pas le bouton que je me suis trompé. Donnez des médicaments. Je sais plus ce qu'il a comme pathologie. R2. Il est fatigué, ouais, c'est traitement pour la fatigue qu'il faut.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Voilà. Ok, on s'en fout. Voilà. Très bien.
I have to
Allez,
go
salut.
now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Oh, je l'ai soigné, donc ça va.
Tell me more about your arrival at the
Je sais
Pembroke.
plus si on l'avait fait. C'est
What
une de
gave you
dialogue.
such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
Si je m'en souviens de ça.
And that nurse...
What do you mean?
She managed...
Tell me,
The amb-
what do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed.
Elle vous a fait payer?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes. And I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Oh, la garce.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Ah, la garce. Allez, attends.
Goodbye,
On
Mrs.
s'en va.
Goswick.
Oui, oui, goodbye. Goodbye, my brother. Inconnu. Harvey, comment va?
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. Any news about my operation?
C'est bon. Bon, apparemment ça se passe bien.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Désolé pour le dérangement.
Reads me like a book. I'll never
Ouais,
could
dis
keep
pas
it.
bien. Ta.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid. Can I be of any help?
Ok, y a rien de plus chez
Goodbye,
lui non
Dr.
plus. Ouais, attends. N'oubliez pas que le sang des citoyens apporte... Oui, non mais j'ai pas... J'ai pas envie... J'ai pas...
It's locked, all right.
Mais je veux...
Cold medical bench, sir.
Tant pis.
I understand you must be very...
Après, j'allais pas me nourrir du sang d'un Indien. C'est pas bon pour le karma, voyons. Ok. Enquêter sur les actions de ce citoyen. Ah. Oui. Je peux pas y entrer?
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
D'accord. Est-ce que je peux rentrer maintenant? Non, toujours pas. Tu veux pas sortir? Qu'on discute? Toi et moi? Non? Bon.
It's locked.
Alors, Dorothy Crane. Il y a un inconnu ici. Non, ça va. Toi, Trickland, on s'en fout. Là, on n'a rien à y faire. Et y a personne. Pourquoi il y a une barre de sang ici?
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
Ah, l'éthique, la fameuse, la vraie. Pipa.
It's locked.
Ah oui, Pipa. On a, il faut que je te parle d'un truc.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
C'était pas toi qui... Non, c'est l'ambulancier, c'est pas toi.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Du coup... Thelma, O'Cross... Inconnu. Milton. Faudrait qu'on parle à Milton. Je l'ai vraiment oublié ce patient. J'ai vraiment fait ça.
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
I cannot enter.
Je peux pas y entrer. Oh, vous êtes sympas, les gens. Tant pis. Milton. Ouais, elle est là, hein. Juste derrière. Viens là, mon petit
Good
Nia.
evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Oui, pareil.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reid.
Oh, ça peut se monnayer.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
C'est pas comme ça que je le voyais, mais bon. Fusil de Milton. 300, j'ai pas assez d'argent. Balle, chevrotine. Je vais pouvoir améliorer les armes avec ça. Poignée de moyens. Après, c'est pas. Le reste, je m'en fous un peu en fait. Autre chose? T'as pas.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
C'est beau.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr.
Dites
Reid.
ça
Do you know
au
how
Grey's
many
Anatomy.
rules are broken in this hospital every
N'est-ce
day
pas?
just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Autre question. Elle veut s'en aller?
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
Votre vie à Londres. Ah.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reid.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Ouais,
Goodbye,
ouais, ouais,
Milton.
ouais. Allez. Pars-toi. Tippett et Gwyneth Brannigan. Qui nous rapportent pas d'argent. Enfin, pas XP. Ok. Après, on ira voir... Bon, Tippett, faut qu'on parle.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid, any good news to share?
What is the...
This
Ça, on l'avait fait. Les situations...
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by
Alors que
appearances,
Gwyneth est
Dr.
complètement
Reid. This
buggée.
hospital does not lack talented
Je
people.
sais où je vais, je sais où
It
je vais.
just lacks hope.
Question perso. Non, tu pouvais pas me parler du mec
Goodbye, Doctor.
qui a fait l'autopsie. Bonjour Gwyneth.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told
Elle
us
me fait
about
penser à une de
you,
mes
sir.
anciennes profs.
I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he
C'est la
really?
même tête. Les mêmes
It's a
lunettes.
good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Nurse Brannigan,
Ça va bien se
if
passer.
you do know
Dis-moi
something,
tout.
please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Elle est en mode santé.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Ouais, donc il va se tuer à la tâche.
How are things here?
Yeah.
Not good, to say the least. We're
Ouais, ça c'est le...
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Ok.
Goodbye, nurse.
Tippett, ça va? Tu vis bien?
We are horrific liars.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid.
Il n'y a pas des indices.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Moi j'aurais tendance à dire ce... Ouais, il a rien à prouver.
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody. And we all praise your experience. Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
Dommage. Dommage. Je m'attendais à ce qu'il aille se reposer quand même. Bon, on va aller voir Dr. Swansea. Harriet. Qui est Harriet? Y'a pas de Harriet là? Qui parle? Ah, à mon avis, il se shoot. Discrètement. Faut que j'aille de l'autre côté. Merde. Comment je fais pour aller de l'autre côté? Ah, je sais pas. Faut que je passe par dehors? Ah. Allez, fais-toi ton rail. Je le savais. Allez hop.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time?
Eh oui. Parce que la taille de tes veines diminue à chaque fois.
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Bonjour, t'as vu, je suis là. Eh, coucou. Bon. Eh ben très bien, allons voir Swansea. Ah, quoique on peut confronter Tippett. Hein. Alors il était bien ce rail? Allez, dis-moi tout, il est où? Swansea. Thelma, gna gna gna. Ah, il est là.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid.
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran. Why take such a risk?
I need it to endure the long shifts. We have no idea how long the epidemic will last. We can't let it win.
Justement, c'est un marathon.
For God's sake, what are you thinking? How can you be so irresponsible?
Irresponsible? I am devoted to my work. I am doing this for all the patients who need our help. I cannot abandon them.
Ok.
Goodbye,
Rien de plus. L'Indien. Il est dehors. Non, parce que bon. Dis-moi, je t'ai vu voler des...
Good evening, Dr. Reid. Such a pleasure to see you again.
des effets personnels des patients. C'est ce que tu essaies de me vendre? C'est ça?
Of course.
Codéine. Oh, ça c'est intéressant. Ça je veux. Terre j'en veux aussi. Permanganate de potassium, c'est du KCl. Non. Non, c'est chlorure de sodium KCl, je crois. Ergotamine, qui est extrait de l'ergot de seigle. Et l'opium. J'en ai pas besoin pour l'instant, je crois, de tout ça. Allez. Tiens, à propos.
Good evening.
Le matin que j'ai bien utilisé.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
Non. Ouais.
You should show respect for the dead.
C'est pas bon pour ton
What
karma.
about their loved ones who may treasure these items you sell?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
Eh ben, tu m'étonnes.
Goodbye, Miss.
Et ça se termine comme ça, d'accord. Et ben on va aller voir Swansea. On va voir ce qu'il pense de tout ça. T'es encore là, toi? You. Je sais plus où c'est. C'est là? Non, c'est pas là. Je crois que c'est. Ouais, c'est la porte ici. Ouais, je suis con.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Vous n'êtes pas prêt.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Ouais.
Thank you. But I'd rather you didn't speak so lightly about my condition. There is nothing I find amusing about this situation.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
D'accord. Question.
Do you need something?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away.
Mais
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well,
tu me diras rien de... Ouais, ok. Tu me diras rien de plus. Et toi, comment tu vas? En fait, on pourrait le tuer, hein. C'est rigolo.
We'll see each other again soon.
Oui, oui, c'est ça. D'accord, bon, ouais, il faudra aller voir Madame Ashbury. Question, il était... C'est vrai que j'étais garé en haut. Non, j'étais pas garé en haut. Je sais plus où je suis garé. Parce qu'on a pas mal de points d'XP, il faut qu'on évolue. Ah, c'était là-bas, au bout du couloir. Madame Ashbury est en bas. Là, c'est le bureau des 3 autres. Oh. Bon. Alors. Fiole de verre, essence de gel, codéine. Il en faut 8 permanganate. Ah si, il en faut quand même du permanganate de potassium. Traitement pour la fatigue, on peut en refaire un. Traitement pour l'anémie. On a pas ce qu'il faut. Et ça, est-ce que j'ai ce qu'il faut? Non, il faut de l'opium. Ouais. Donc ça, on a vu tout à l'heure. Ça, on s'en fout. Ok. Bon. Avant de se quitter, il nous faut des points. Défensif, c'était quoi ça? Ok. Ça, j'avais oublié. Voile d'ombre. Ultime. Vous perdez le contrôle et c'est la bête qui est vous se déchaînez temporairement. Ouais. Je peux pas? Non. Elle est locked. Morsure. Augmente la qualité. Oui. Bah oui. Tant qu'à faire. Paf. Niveau 7. Morsure plus. Oui. Niveau 8. Pas encore. Science. Vous pouvez 3 sérums sur vous, augmente le nombre de balles que vous pouvez transporter. Les sérums on n'en a pas encore, mais bon ça servira plus tard je pense. Ok. Agressive. On prend hein. Ok. Et ça on a 2000 points. Et on a plus d'XP donc c'est bon. On confirme. Et on est parti. Événement majeur dans le quartier. Chaque nuit, des conséquences de vos actes peuvent améliorer ou dégrader la situation sanitaire. Ok. Si la situation sanitaire de ce quartier plongera dans le chaos, il appartient à vous. Donc lui, il va mieux. Il va mieux. Le quartier peut être sain, instable, grave, ok, critique, hostile. Ok. Whitechapel. Faut qu'on aille voir machin, ok. Lui il est stable. Il faut un traitement de la fatigue. Jonathan. Ça c'était les docs, ok. Et là, il est stable, ok. Bien. Eh bien les enfants, on va se quitter là, on va se faire de bons bisous, en espérant que cet épisode, cette session vous aura plu. Je vous fais de bons bisous et je vous dis à la prochaine pour la suite de Vampyr avec Jonathan. Bisous.